Forget it.
Hey everybody!
Hello.
Welcome back. We are currently writing out Hurricane Harvey, and we have decided
Which is why I am wrapped in a blanket.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Not because you just in general like being swaddled.
I do like being swaddled. I get cold very easily.
So we decided now would be the perfect time to talk about Lost Vikings 2!
Yay! Because Vikings lived in the Arctic.
In the hurricanes.
North. Okay.
Yeah, Vikings are hurricane animals.
Sure. Alright.
So this one was my pick. Russ had never played it before or
No.
even heard of it before.
I had heard of it. I had seen it in Nintendo Power, and I assumed that it was like a brawler, like Streets of Rage or Final Fight or something like that.
And was it?
And I was really pleasantly surprised to find out that it wasn't. It was, it's a puzzle game.
Lost Vikings 2, and Lost Vikings 1, really, but 2 is the superior game. It's a puzzle game where you control 3 characters at a time, you switch back and forth between them. They each have unique abilities, and you have to get all 3 of them to the end of each level, collecting items along the way. So,
And they have to work together as a team,
yeah,
using all of their abilities.
it's a puzzle game. You've got Eric the Swift. He is the only one who can jump. He can, in this game, he can double jump. He can also charge headfirst into blocks and break them, and he's the only one who can swim.
Is he the one that can toot? Which one can toot?
That's Olaf the Stout.
Okay.
Olaf
That's
the
my
Stout
favorite one.
has a shield that he can use to glide. He can also fart, which lifts him up when gliding, or can make him bounce up and slam down on blocks. And he can also change into micro-small and fit through tiny little corridors. And then there's Balog the Fierce, and he's the main fighter. Olaf the Stout cannot fight. Eric can headbutt enemies, but then he leaves himself wide open to attack for like a minute. So Balog is the fighter. He's got a bionic arm that can stretch out, and he's got a sword. And the arm can also be used to grab things and to swing from things.
Because for some reason, this Lost Vikings, at least this one, is like kind of futuristic.
Yeah.
Time travel.
The
plot.
first one involved them getting abducted by aliens from the future as
okay.
well. But in this one, they are all upgraded, and they all get extra abilities that they didn't have in the first game. There's also 2 other characters. As you travel through the time periods, you recruit
Yes.
a werewolf named Fang and a dragon named Scorch. You still only control 3 at a time, so you never know, going into a level, which characters you'll have, which skill sets you'll have.
I know, that adds a lot of good diversity to the game, because they all have different skills.
So, I really liked Lost Vikings 2. It's one of those games I pick up and play every now and again, and I did it in college from time to time on emulators. It also came out on the PlayStation, although in that one it's called The Lost Vikings Norse by Norsewest.
Cute.
Yes.
Tons.
I wish that Blizzard would bring back the Lost Vikings. They did bring them back fairly recently as characters in a MOBA game called Heroes of the Storm.
Oh, and it's a Blizzard game.
Yeah.
So much I didn't realize about this game. So this is what they were doing before
World of Warcraft.
Okay.
So, Heroes of the Storm, you can control all 3 Vikings as characters. I've never played it, but I understand the Vikings are hard to control. I actually have a friend of mine who works at Blizzard, and they gave him a giant Lost Viking statue that he refuses to give to me, despite my love of the game.
Because he's going to just give it to you from
Because I like it.
benevolence. Okay.
I should have it because I like the game.
Okay.
I want it, so I should have it.
Which is the way life always works.
That's how it should work. So yeah, it's a puzzle-solving game.
Yeah, I liked it. I was very impressed by that. I was pleasantly surprised because I thought I was in for a brawler.
There are monsters that you can fight, but if you're strategic, you can do it without ever taking a hit. Olaf's shield blocks everything in front of it. So as long as you get him in place, Balog can just attack through him. So, really, it is possible to beat every level of this game without ever taking a hit, but your characters have 4 hits. The downside is, if one of your characters dies, that's it. you got to start the level over. Even if you're able to get to the end, they will say, "Nope, we need all three. Sorry." But there's items that you can pick up along the way. There's health items and extra health items.
I think that's the one complaint maybe I have is that you have to get all three characters to the end, so you have to like walk each of them there individually.
Yes.
At the end of the level, I did want it to just end once I had solved
But
the level.
how are you going to get all three of them to the end when only one of them can jump?
Yeah.
So that's part of the puzzle, is navigating them all through.
Still a good game.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's a good game,
Good job,
and
Blizzard.
one of the things I like about this little series of ours is we were able to skip past the first one. The first one's fine, but the second one is far superior. So we
I
were
thought
able.
you played all games in order all the time.
Well, I did. I've played Lost
and I
Vikings.
don't care. That makes sense. I don't care. So.
Yeah. And for this purpose, we don't really care so much about the story as the game, so I said let's just play the better one and be done with it.
Okay.
So we did. I think that's really all we have to say about Lost Vikings.
It was good.
Short little video, but it's a great game. You should definitely check it out. Russ, what did you want us to play next time on our little non-JRPG?
Well, I picked a game that I know you will love. I know you
The
would
Sailor
love
Moon
it
RPG.
because it is your favorite genre of video game, which is survival horror. I know you just can't get enough. So, I have chosen to play a game that was actually only released in Japan, but had sequels released in the United States, called Clock Tower for the Super Famicom, really.
All right. So
And I know you love
there's
it.
an English patch, right?
There is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll.
No, I meant to say no, there isn't.
Oh, I have to
We
play
have
it in
to struggle
Japanese.
through this game in Japanese.
No, there is an English patch. So I guess we'll see you next time for Clock Tower.
Clock Tower! Dun dun dun.